In today's video, I'm gonna teach you how to make one of my favorite pasta alternatives. It's grain-free and it's literally making spaghetti out of squash. Hey guys, it's Mona, and today's video is all about spaghetti squash. I'm literally dedicating this video to show you how to make it because it's that good that it actually deserves its own video. This is a recipe I talk about all the time on my social media. There's one recipe I've been making a lot where I mix it in with eggplant. Like today, I'm just gonna give you the basic version, but I thought having this video to refer you guys to so you can just see exactly how easy it is would be perfect. One of the reasons I really like this is because I really try to share a lot that eating plant-based or vegan doesn't have to be all cold salads. It does not have to be like, boring or not filling. Like this is just one of those really amazing comfort foods that almost seems a little bit too good to be true because it's so good and so filling, but it's just really, really healthy. So I like it as a pasta alternative because look, pasta is great once in a while if you're going out to a really amazing restaurant, but having that white flour all the time as part of a staple diet, which a lot of new vegans or vegetarians do, isn't the healthiest thing because it can spike your blood sugar. It's just really high in refined carbs. There's a million reasons. It's processed. So if you want that kind of comfort meal, spaghetti squash is perfect. It's actually very low in carb. It's really high in nutrients. It's great for your blood pressure. And it's super high in fiber, which is really, really important for digestion and gut health. I think it has about 2 grams of fiber per cup, which is like 10% of your daily recommended need. So let's just get into how to prepare it. I want to keep this short and simple. So I always like to put it in the oven for like 10 minutes just to make the outside a little bit softer so I can cut through, and then take it out and basically slice it down the middle the long way. So even though you heat it up for a little bit, it is pretty hard to cut. So make sure you're really careful. One thing I like to do is like kind of take the knife and stab it in the middle and just get like a good kind of working point and then wiggle it around a little bit and then just kind of switch sides, whatever you have to do to get it sliced open. So next, you want to try to remove all the seeds without getting too much of the spaghetti squash out because we want to save that to actually cook it, but you don't want a lot of the seeds in there because they're a little crunchy and it just doesn't go. So kind of take a spoon or a fork and get as many out as you can. If there's a few left over, it's really not that big of a deal. So it's also a little sticky. It's almost like pumpkin if you've ever gotten pumpkin seeds out. So just, get your hand in there, get some out, but remove as many as you can. So the next thing I like to do is pour a little bit of water into the casserole dish. And this is kind of one of my little secrets to make it really soft. There are some spaghetti squash recipes I've seen that don't do this, and I noticed it when I do it. The texture is just literally drool worthy. It's so good. So take some filtered water, put about maybe an inch of water at the bottom of the casserole dish, and then you're gonna take the spaghetti squash halves and put them face down. So it should fit both depending on what size you get. Sometimes they're a little big and they don't both fit, but this one fits really perfectly in there. And then you're gonna put it in the oven that's preheated at 400 degrees. Baking time depends on your oven. It's usually about 30 to 40 minutes. So I will usually put it in for like 34 minutes and then check and see if it's done. And if it's not coming out really easily with a fork, then you have to cook it a few more minutes, but it shouldn't take over 40 minutes. So take it out using an oven mitt or a towel, whatever. Obviously, just be careful because it's really hot. And then when you turn it over, you'll see that there are still some seeds. They always kind of come up a little bit more when you're cooking for some reason, but you can just kind of take them out with a spoon or a fork. It is going to be really hot, so make sure you don't just use your hands. Now, this is the part where it actually looks like spaghetti and why it's called spaghetti squash. So you're going to take a fork and start from the long end and just do almost like a long stroke down the middle of it. And you'll see that it literally shreds and looks like spaghetti. So you don't have to do anything to make it look like this. It just really comes off really easily. If it's too hard, you do have to cook it a little bit more. So this should not be hard to, get into these little shreds. I like to hold a little paper towel on the edge of the spaghetti squash because it is really hot. You could also use an oven mitt, whatever works for you, just something so that your hands aren't touching it, but it does help to kind of support it on the one end so you can really get in there. So as you're scooping it, you'll see that you get a lot, but you can really get the entire squash. Like you'll just keep like scooping and scooping and you'll see that you have so much more to get. So, I mean, even when you see at the end, the portion size that I have, it's definitely enough for like, I'd say 4 people to serve. Depends on if it's like a main dish or, a side dish, but Do that to both sides. Make sure you get everything out. And that's really it. It's so simple. You can definitely tell the texture in this one that I used water because it is so much softer. And you don't want it to be dry. That texture isn't as like appetizing and it's just not as yummy. So once you get it all out, put it into a bowl, and then from there you can really prepare it however you want. I've done it where I put it into a pan and then, stir fry it with some veggies. I've done it where I put it into a pot and put it with tomato sauce. Most of the time what I do is cook it actually like spaghetti with tomato sauce, and I'll put a bunch of different spices. If you are going to mix other veggies with this, make sure you pre-cook those first because these are done now. You don't want to have to keep cooking them. Have everything else ready to go, and then you could even have like a saucepan with veggies or spaghetti sauce, whatever you have ready to go, add this into it and just enough to get the sauce on it and you're done because it's already hot out of the oven. But you could also do olive oil. There's a ton of great recipes you can look up and find. So this is the final product. It's so yummy. I know what I'm having for dinner now tonight. It's the best thing about making these videos is that I pre-make my meal. So again, this is just a really easy alternative for pasta. It's not about calories. It's not, about not eating carbs. This still has carbs, although much less, but it's the quality of the food. You're not getting that spike in blood sugar from a refined carb and the white flour that goes into regular pasta. It's really light. It's so high in fiber. It's an amazing replacement. So definitely try this one. You saw how easy it was. And I hope you enjoy it. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.